Cascade. He spawns as the blue cross player down to the bottom right hand corner of the map. DmC. And to the upper left, the red Zerg player from Team Liquid, ladies and gentlemen. Snute. Took game 1 fairly convincingly there. And we'll see how game 2 is going to go for him. I mean, again, Anonymous seemed to just completely fall apart in a lot of parts of that game. Excuse the phone not being on silent. Wow, I'm completely out of it right now. Everything everywhere just sort of taking place without me knowing, and it's been a hectic 20 minutes. Anyways, yeah, I mean, Anonymous kind of just fell apart. He obviously turned for a couple of moments to go and check out what was happening in his mate base with the mutas and trying to sort that out, and then he was caught move commanding and trapped in his own force fields and just completely losing his entire army over there. No mothership core to recall it. The warp prism wasn't in warping mode. He had reinforcements just kind of sat back, not doing anything at all. And Snute moves across the map with an early drone here, looking to potentially hatchery block, but a probe already down to the low ground to stop that hatchery from going down. A second one will help, and this drone is forced away. So the Nexus first able to go down here, and Snute will at least confirm that it's a Nexus first, and from here can probably go into a third hatchery of his own once again. He went for that on Coda. I'd be surprised for him not to go for it here on Echo, especially seeing a Nexus first out of his opponent. So moving back across the map, it could even be this drone which becomes the third hatchery as we just follow it back over here. Behind all of this, the gateway starting up in the main base of DmC. And yeah, this drone's just going to move over towards this third hatchery. So it's going to pop down, and there we go. Third hatch on the way for Snute once again in this series. So, Snute, how will he play this out? I mean, of course, we've got to kind of see what DmC wants to do early in this game. Whether he wants to apply some early pressure, whether he wants to go for that kind of free base style. But we'll also keep an eye on what sort of composition Snute is looking to play. Here on Echo, we've seen quite often actually kind of melee upgrade builds, and generally the fourth, melee upgrade builds seem to be quite popular. A lot of chrono boosts saved up on this Nexus. You can see Gazelle chrono boosted out here to begin with. Of course, DmC no scout, doesn't know about this greedy opening from Snute, but might assume it, and you know, either way with the Zealot, if he decides to move across the map, he's going to be able to put on a little bit of pressure at least. And yeah, we'll see what's going on. So this Zealot going to be moving across the map, or is it? Is he just going to stand still? Just going to stand still for now. So, I'm going to see a drone moving out a little bit, down to the natural. Not really too much going on in this early stages of this CVP. Gas on the way up for Snute. We do see a little bit of pressure moving across the map from DmC. A couple of Zealots, a Stalker and a Mothership Core all coming across here. Probe as well. We do see Warp Gate started, but not really being chrono boosted or anything, so not going to achieve too much there. Snute has got a few Zerglings on the way, a couple of Queens, which are just going to sit tight at the natural for now. There's a Queen over at this third base too, which will drop an inject down. The Things are looking to get us around on this Stalker, which is desperately trying to escape. These Zealots and Mothership Core are going to be able to take down this Queen to the left side. Or are they? It looks as though they might be able to retreat to the other Queens, and now the Zergling's going to connect onto these Zealots, and with that, Snute saves the Queen, and a great set of, great little bit of control there to be able to defend this. And oh wow, he actually gets us around on the Stalker too. So Snute cleans this up really, really easily. I mean, saves his Queen. He gets every single unit apart from the Mothership Core. There's a great little bit of control to manage that slight crisis, as we see 3 extra gateways coming down for DmC here, which would suggest he wanted to follow this up with some kind of pressure. But now he adds on his extra gases, so kind of intrigued to see where this goes. I mean, the gases, you mean, are they really a fake? Because he's moved up the ramp and seen the gateways. I mean, it's kind of weird. I imagine he's just going to tech out of this now. I mean, losing those first units doesn't really bode well for continuing to pressure, so we'll see what happens. There is a probe and a pylon down to the bottom left of the map, and DmC just has this set up, ready to go. As these Lings start to, well, continue to move around, but not really too much for them to do, as these sentries are going to move forward. So it looks like he is going to commit to this. He's got 3 more gateways starting up, so it's just going to be a big gateway all in. He is going to mine off of this gas, so just going to be able to use that to warp sentries in with us. Snute does see a lot of sentries, and this many sentries this early, I mean, it means that this many sentries so early on means that there's a big chance of an all incoming, because if you invest that much into gas in the sentries, you know, well, you know, is it, you know, you're not investing into your tech, so Zergling's going to come in here and try and get these pylons. Not going to quite be successful. A couple of stalkers being walked in as well. 13 roaches on the way for Snute though, and I mean, he knows that this is coming, and he knows that he's very well prepared for it. It seems as the Queen is going to get caught a little bit out of position, but as these roaches pop out, Zerglings as well, it's going to be very hard for DmC to get too much done. So more stalkers warping in from behind. Again, no upgrades on this army. As first force field's pretty nice, and the second force field as well is nice to block out a lot of these drones. And now roaches on the right hand side are the real problem, picking off a couple of the sentries there. The recall is forced away, and these stalkers over here, he's actually going to warp in zealots to try and protect these stalkers, but I don't know if that's even worthwhile, because he's still just going to lose the zealots. I mean, he's going to lose everything no matter what, and I don't think that was a smart decision to warp the zealots in. So we're just going to pop up the ramp and take down this pylon. And Snute cleans up pretty easily, and I mean, from here it's a pretty good position for him. I mean, there's no tech on the field for DmC. You can see he's moving across the map with another gateway army, just looking to see what he can do. And I mean, Zergling's already getting a bit of a surrounding. His sentry's going to force a couple of force fields away. The roaches coming in from the right hand side, a couple of sentries falling, and more force fields coming down to try and block these roaches away. The roaches which do sneak through are going to try and target down a couple of sentries to get rid of any further force fields. And again, DmC is kind of just trapped in the middle of the map here with not much you can really do. A Hydra down on the way for Snute. He doesn't have too much gas banked up to really use that though. As warp-ins will continue from DmC. So he has a lot of minerals in the bank. Does he not have lava? He's got a few. He's starting to pick all those spine crawlers now, and DmC moving across here still has a chance to maybe get something done with this, but he's lost a lot of sentries. He doesn't have many force fields, and again, he's now going to be going up against Roach, Hydra, and Ling. So that little bit of extra DPS from the Hydra is going to help out immensely. So you're even confident enough right now to start up some evolution chambers. Actually just using that to wall off, that's kind of smart, keeping the going to be able to keep warpins and zealots away from his army, which is kind of nice. And we'll decrease the DPS a little bit, and with leftover minerals, I mean, may as well use them for something, I suppose, as we're going to see these units continue to move forwards. And DmC, again, looking for this fight, and he wants to try and circumvent those spine crawlers, but he can't really attack over here because of the evolution chamber wall. And I mean, I guess he can attack from a distance, but even this just buys Snute a little bit more time, a couple more Hydras, a couple more roaches. You know, every little bit that he gets is a little bit more, you know, favourable here for Snute. As we see this, again, also the cross, aren't we going to have to run into a concave here of the Berserk in just a couple of moments. And here we go. The first couple of force fields are nice, keeping a few of these units to the right hand side away. The zealots at the front melt pretty quickly though, as Hydra's going to come in from the left hand side as well. And again, so far it's been a fairly even trade, no real decisive damage done by either side, but slowly and truly the force fields run out, the sentries start to get picked away at, and DmC starts to run out of firepower, but Snute's starting to run out of units as well. He's trying to reposition a couple of his spine crawlers. Hydra's trying to get in range from the right hand side, and now there's only stalkers left, but without upgrades, Snute is going to be able to clean those up without too much of an issue. And